Betty Burkhauser.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. This is wonderful. Everybody should have received when they came in, I hope you did, one of these. Did everybody get one?
Yep.
If you didn't, please pick one up on the way back. We also have a petition out front to sign. Now, petitions don't necessarily carry a ton of weight, according to a lot of people. According to environmentalists, the advantage in a petition is it does give our commissioners, high-test sand, our public officials, state, county, federal, a knowledge that we don't want it, we don't like it. Whatever it is, it means we're standing up against it. We have a desire for a purpose. That number is important. Please do not ever sign a petition twice. If Billy Bob Thornton asked you to sign one and you sign it on corner A, and Roseanne whoever on corner BC has you sign another one, you've just voided an entire petition. Be sure you only sign a petition once, okay? Help each other, encourage your friends, neighbors, family. Having said that, out front, there are hundreds of these. On the back is a separate page. Tape this to your fridge, wherever you're going to see it real often. This has Idaho state officials. It says write your state officials now. The top, there are 12 different entities to write to. You can write one letter. Make sure your name and address is at the top. Phone number if you want them to call you. Make sure you sign it with a signature. You write one, your husband writes one, each one of your kids write one. Send a copy of this list. My challenge to everybody here today is when you pick this up today, because this costs us a fortune to print. Donations, by the way, can be made at STCU. Any STCU, walk in and say, I'd like to make a donation to the CANS account. They'll accept your money, it will go in. It's what pays for these publications to get the word out there. But my challenge to each one of you is get one of these. Make 10 copies of this contact list to the Idaho state officials and the Washington state officials. Make 10 copies of this. Send it out to, how many of you have friends out of state? Really good friends? Raise your hands. How many of you have relatives out of state? How many of those relatives are really looking forward to you being dead from silica? Come on, raise your hands. Just one once your relative, once you're dead. So, the fact is, we've all got friends and relatives that live in Arizona, California, Texas, Florida, Panama, I don't know. Those people care about you. You are here. They don't know this. Pick up the flyer. Make a copy of the whole thing. Send it to them. Let them start looking it up. They can write a letter to our governors too. They're protecting you. That's your family. That's your friends. Friends are family, aren't they? Ask them to write. This list, I don't want you to just write to it once. Yes, you can write one letter. Make a dozen copies for all the Idaho representatives. You live in Washington? How many here live in Washington? Awesome. How many live in Idaho? Awesome. Each and every one of you need to write all 12 Idaho representatives on here, all 12 Washington representatives on here, officials I should say. Write to them. Make one letter. Make 12 copies. Mail it out. Do the same thing again next month. It's not going to cost a fortune. Make it a different letter. In that letter, it is critical to explain how this is going to affect you financially, physically, and medically. If you've got medical problems and you get a statement from your physician, which God bless, a lot of people showed up at the boathouse, the boat launch thing, and we're saying, Betty, we got our statements from a physician. And I said, hang on to those, you're going to need them later. Now's later. On the bottom of any statements you get from your physician, please be sure to write in your own handwriting and sign it that you authorize this document to be used as public example. Sign it with your name. Because if you don't, they can't use it. It's a violation of the HIPAA law. That's your medical right to privacy. If you're willing to let that become public notice, declare that on there. Make a copy of that, send it to every one of them. People that have health issues, I have a heart problem. My friend Renee has a heart problem. We live hundreds of feet from it. Renee lives 100 feet from it. There are thousands of us in this community that have children we want to see grow up, dogs we want to see grow old, parents we want to keep as long as we can. Sorry. Karen's exactly right. You can keep kicking them in the head, or we can go to them as a collective group. The address is on here for the commissioners. My challenge to you is I want to get 5,000 letters. 5,000. Contact everybody you know. 5,000 letters should show up at each one of these addresses within 10 days. It's not hard. Write one letter. Make 24 copies, 12 for Idaho, 12 for Washington. That includes your commissioners. Karen's right. You don't have to hate them. They stepped in here. It's not fun. They've left us a big mess to clean up. I'm not sure they know how to step back from it at this point. I mean, anybody here have a farm? Anybody here been out hunting or whatever, and somebody's big-butted dog takes a huge crap and you step in it, you can't, by the time you get home, you can't get the stink out of your shoe. It's there. How do you fix it? That's kind of what they've done. They've stepped in a big pile of crap because I've said it before, there's innocence and ignorance. And in innocence, I believe they thought they were doing something good, and in ignorance, they don't know how the tar to stop it. We can help them. 5,000 letters to the commissioner says no. Signing a petition lets them know there's people willing to sign the petition. Please write the letters. Thank you.
Okay, folks, well, that's pretty much it unless we have questions or anybody wants to see any pertinent documents, because I'll be more than happy to show what we have. Michael Naylor.
My question is, the root of it is an illegal landscape. Despite the mountain of rabbit holes, it's an illegal landscape. I don't trust government. I have my own personal experience. And I don't think that being nice and I really don't need that. I got a big no, thank you. I don't agree with your comparison. A horse has the brain of a 3-year-old. A human has a conscience. I disagree with your analogy on that. I think these people are yes, ignorant, but mostly just greedy, sick people. I want them gone. I think that my question is can we as a community, can we take them to court over the illegal land sale and just get the root, just cut the root out? And the rest of it, you know, is to me just going to be more confusion, more coloring, more distractions, more deflections, everything else that's gross and dark that nobody really wants to deal with. You know, just cut the dark root out. Can we do that? And can we force these people to resign? Can we do that? Can we basically take over ourselves and say, we are the community, we're like a tribe, we can do this ourselves, because they don't represent us. So that's my question is, can we do that? And do we want to do that? Or is there another way? And my opinion is, the only way to do it is number one, so.
So I can answer part of that.
I'm not asking.
Oh.
I was asking the guy who first.
Bill?
Well, actually, I'm gonna answer that real quick. It's okay. Ma'am,
How about I give it a try? Maybe I can make it a little easier. The slowest way we can accomplish anything is in the courts. You've heard, we've all heard horror stories. It takes 5 years, 10 years even. Some court cases have gone on for 40. I doubt this is one of those. But what I think a couple of us have said today, I wasn't particularly one of them, but I know there were two that had a positive thought, and that is, look, all we got to do is stop this. It's okay, go ahead, take somebody to court, and in a couple of years, let me know how it turned out. But meantime, if it takes too long for this to be built, it'll get built somewhere else. So once we can slow it down, stop it in some way,
We don't have to win in court. We just have to make it more expensive to stay. Make them just go.
What's the best way to do that? We want to build it here.
Well, we're gonna learn.
I wanted to tell you, it was called the auditor.
Go ahead.
The auditor?
Questions. One is, where can I get a copy of this entire presentation?
Oh, boy.
I'll be glad to pay for it.
Wait,
And
I bet we could compile it. There isn't a complete one. We all came together to build it, each of us who spoke today. But I bet we could, our dream is to put together a decent PowerPoint that brings it all together. And we'll do that as quick as we can, but I can't answer if we can get it all in 2 years or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it was Karen who said that right now, nothing has been, no crime or offense has been committed other than they held secret meetings that nobody knew about. So a violation of the open meeting law is apparently the only thing that is being talked about. However, somebody else mentioned that there are $14,000 missing, and I'm wondering, where did that money go? And is there a case to be made for maybe some bribery or kickback?
I think I can shed a little light on it. In most states, including Idaho and Washington, it really falls under its, oh, that thing squeaks. Hello? Is it squeaking?
It's off. Watch out when you turn it on.
Is that working?
Yep.
Okay, in most states, there is always a determination if it's the letter or the spirit of the law. And to make a determination if the law actually in fact has been broken usually takes the action of a magistrate. It has to be filed in the courts. Law enforcement usually will put a case together at the federal, state, local levels. They will get all pertinent information that they can get, and they will give it to either a prosecutor or a magistrate, in this particular case, to try and file an injunction. If we could file an injunction, that would be great, because that would slam the brakes on this for a long, long time, because it would hit court, and by the time the magistrates get through it and look at it and either recommend it to trial or dismissal or whatever the case may be, that could take a couple of years. I don't think they want to wait a couple of years. I personally feel, this is my opinion only, there is a possibility that more laws have been broken under the federal statutes. I think we're getting into, first of all, false and misleading statements under U.S. Code 33 is a felony. And it's punishable by 2 years in prison and a $10,000 fine or both. Now, has that happened? I can't make that determination. Is it worth that a law enforcement agency at a state or federal level looks at it and makes that determination if they should investigate further to determine in fact there has been federal, state, or local statutes violated, I believe that probably would be prudent. Because nobody will wait a second to look at us if they feel we may have possibly broken a law. They will spend a pile of tax money to come after us, hunt us down, put us in front of a jury, and I think nobody is above the law and nobody is exempt from civil litigation. So let's do our due diligence. Maybe we need to have a federal or state agency look at it and they make that determination if in fact laws have been broken.
So the Washington State Auditor's Office, go online, Washington State Auditors. There's a hotline, a citizen's hotline, and there's a form. If you go to Ponderay Health, Ponderay County Health, blogspot.com, someone is writing a really good blog out there, and they have the RCWs actually on that blog for the land sale. And I really recommend everybody look at that. And everybody go to the auditors, fill out the form, and call the hotline. If they get 1,000 phone calls from people in Ponderay County saying the commissioners have actually done a fraudulent land sale, they have to investigate it, they have to look at it. One call doesn't do it, but if everybody calls and everybody does it, that's your easiest way to get this to someone.
Where's the
There's a
blog
question back
again?
there.
What is it?
Blog, where is that?
Michael, is it Ponderay County or Ponderay? Ponderay Health. PonderayHealth.blogspot.com. Over there?
There's a question over there?
Okay, so how do we, other than what you just said, how do we get an injunction to slam the brakes on this?
Who can answer? How do you get them to jump?
Boy.
You have to get them to join.
Okay, that's tough. First of all,